Hey, welcome to the second course video for Influencer from BAND-MAID and their technically an EP, Unleash. I'm musically malnourished and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. In these videos, we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. So let's get in, take a look at Influencer. All right, here we have our documents once again. Feel free if you want to pause and you're interested in any of those top statistics and information. They've played this live 44 times. Wow. All right, let's get down here into the notes. I'll try to keep my head out of the way. The seventh track, Influencer, shows ingenuity in rhythm. And I thought it was the most playful song in this album, Akane. I didn't want this song to be too clunky. I wanted to keep it simple and intense, so I decided to focus on three things: bass drum, snare, and hi-hat. I also wanted to make the song more lively, so I used a tom beat, but kept the A melody simple and tight, and used a cymbal beat for the chorus. For the bass solo, I used my experience from my previous work as a waiter, and came up with the idea of 3 points to make the bass stand out. That's interesting. So there may be an ease of listening sonically. It also has a strong danceable impression, doesn't it? Akane, in that sense, this song reaffirms the importance of the 3 points. Konami. I was pretty conscious of newness when I wrote it. It's based on the BAND-MAID style, but I wrote it with an image that it will give accent to future servings. Psyche. It's also a song that showcases our instrumentalists. Am I right? Konami. Yes, it is. I thought it would be interesting to have a long bass solo, so I asked Misa to take care of it, and then she came up with such a cool bass solo that I was moved. It's fantastic. Psyche. The bass solo is the highlight, isn't it? The climax of the song. Misa. Really? Psyche. Yeah, I say that with confidence. Misa. Also in this song, I didn't want to show my habitual movements in the bass solo, so I wrote all the phrases on the keyboard. I thought it would be nice to have such a song. Psyche. It felt new and different than usual. Misa. Yeah, I would be happy if you could notice it's different than usual when you listen to it. Laughs. I have the impression that each one of us had a lot of time to work on ideas for the songs. This time, including this, Akane. I agree. As for the drums in this song, I wanted to have clean sounds without packing too much, so I was conscious of hitting almost exclusively the basic 3. Note, the bass drum, the snare, and the hi-hat, all the way through, without inserting tom rolls here and there. It would be important to have a spatial feel, especially when you drum with the bass solo. Akane. Yes, I go with the basic 3 there, like the bass drum, the snare, and the cymbal. Misa. It's a simple, cool song. Its simplicity certainly shines among the 8 songs. As for the lyrics, the title of the song seems to have something to do with the current trends, doesn't it? Miku. Yes, Po. Actually, I wrote the lyrics much later than the other songs on the EP, Po. I talked with Psyche and Akane on video chat about what kind of theme would be good for this song, Po. So I asked, what do you think is a good theme? And since I'm posting on TikTok every day, they were like, what did you say again? Psyche. Women who live on social media. Miku. That's it, Po. You said that, Po. Psyche. Kabato has been writing about various images of women for us so far. Like I asked her to write about a woman who wants to stay beautiful. That's the song Page. Kabato has been working hard on TikTok since the start of Clupo and has become an awesome expert about social media. So I thought she knew a lot about those women, while I don't. And I asked, like, Kabato, what kind of people do you think influencers are? Tell me. Misa, it's an interesting way of suggestion. Women who live on social media Sounds like the Japanese title of a film or something. Miku, you are right, Po. It sounds like a secondary title, Po. Akane, it's very modern. Psyche, it's only in this day and age I got the impression that such people had increased during the COVID pandemic. So I asked her to write about them. The lyrics are real in that sense. And some listeners might feel like, is this about me? Or might be reminded of someone they know. Miku, that's right, Po. In fact, I read a lot of interviews with influencers and did a lot of research while analyzing, like, oh, I see, Po. They think like this, Po. There are a lot of cases where the same person writes totally different things on Twitter and on Instagram, which makes me wonder if they are really the same person. Wow, that's insightful. All right, may I suggest your next theme? How about women who make full use of finstas? They all laugh out loud. Oh, I see. That sounds nice, Po. I'll look for some more interviews. Laughs. There must be a lot of people on Finsta who vent their hateful feelings. Akane. Oh, I see. That led to the next song. That's funny because the last song is hate with a question mark. I'm assuming Finsta, maybe is that a Japanese social media platform? Oh. A Finsta, short for fake Instagram, is a secondary private Instagram account where users post unfiltered personal content for a small circle of close friends, distinct from their curated real Instagram. Finstas offer a judgment-free space to be authentic and vent, often with generic usernames and limited followers, creating a digital diary hidden from parents, acquaintances, or employers. Okay, interesting. I sometimes want to make a Finsta just to call out stupid people. I run some social media accounts for companies, and dude, some people just suck, dude. I was like, why would you comment that? It's just hateful and serves no purpose. Are you just an angry person? Like we posted the launch of of a location, a restaurant location, and literally somebody on there said, "Big deal." I want a Finsta because I want to be like, are you just an angry person? Like, what is wrong with you? Why take your time to say that? Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm gonna make a Finsta. I'm gonna make a FooTube so I can be on here and get after people in my comments. Not really. I'm not going to do that. Okay, let's get into this document. Influencer is a sharp, playful, and unsettling critique of validation culture where identity is constructed through attention, approval, and performance. It frames popularity as a game with unclear rules, constant resets, and no real victory condition. This isn't a song about hating social media. It's about needing it and knowing that need is hollow. Oh, wow, dude. It's like something that has become so ingrained in us as a culture that it's like to not have it almost doesn't make sense to some people. And so you need it in your life, even though maybe it's not producing the best thing in you, or maybe it's wasting some of your time. I know for some people it creates a lot of, whether it's FOMO, the fear of missing out, which then can drive these insecurities of, well, why don't I get invited? Or why don't I have friends like that? Or it creates a lot of envy, and then kind of sucks the joy out of some of the good that you do have. And I would just say, like, if you have social media, and like, because I really don't do anything on social media these days. Most of my social media interaction is here on YouTube, just interacting with you guys. But if it's creating in you this envy, this lack of gratitude, this anger, I went through a season of my life that I kept coming across people that I had followed and some that I knew personally, that many of the things they were posting just caused this anger in me, this frustration. And I just decided, because normally I just don't engage in that. And I decided, like, why am I still following this person? Not that I don't want to hear ideas different from mine or anything like that. I was just realizing, like, I'm scrolling and finding myself just annoyed and frustrated. And so I just started unfollowing those people. It's just like, I don't really need this thing in my life that I am inviting in that's causing this frustration in me. So the speaker oscillates between confidence and insecurity, dominance and dependence. Winning doesn't mean fulfillment. Losing doesn't mean invisibility. Everyone is watching, everyone is posting, and everyone is quietly unsure what any of it adds up to. Hunky-dory becomes ironic. Cheerful language masking a system built on comparison, scarcity, and endless appetite. I'd be curious too if hunky-dory, like, is that something that people say in Japan? I mean, obviously they would have their own ways of saying hunky-dory. Or were they searching for English sayings that fit this idea? I'd be curious in that. Because hunky-dory is just such a funny word. All right. Chorus. Everybody, look. Follow me now. Hey, look at this. Give it a like. Come on. You're going to like me, right? Wow. Because of the association of getting a like means you like me. Look at me now. Look closely. What's the strategy? I win. You can't win. Hunky-dory day, hunky-dory day. Yeah, gosh. Yeah, all this like inner turmoil of needing validation. And it's like, but hunky-dory. Ha 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 ha. Hold them up. Even if it's just self-satisfaction. Hold them on. I don't want to lose. It's fine to be a fake version of myself. Rarity gives it value. Ending. All right, then. Reset. Starting. In this democratic world, there has to be a reason. That's interesting. Let me know your thoughts on this section. Especially it's rarity gives it value. Ending. All right, then. Reset. Starting. I didn't know if it was like end an account and start an account. Yeah, this is an interesting section. Let me know your thoughts. I parted, met and parted. It still doesn't sit right. It's not enough. Clap, clap, clap. Fill me up with approval. Who invites me to the top? Wow. Everybody, look, follow me now. Hey, look, give it a like. Come on. You're going to fall for me, right? Look at me now. Look closely. Where's the winning strategy? I win. You can't win. Hunky-dory day. A vision for the future? It's totally unknown. Why, though? Guess it's just endless flexing battles. Chit-chat. Chit-chat. Chitty-chitty-chat-chat. My advantage keeps climbing. Seriously, this filter is God tier. Wow. Push like it. Check it out. Share. Happy. Let's dance. Hunky-dory. Man. Endless flexing battles. Wow, dude. Because it doesn't, like, I've known people that just flat out say social media is evil. And I don't run with that. I think there's a lot of good that can come from social media. There's a lot of good because there are people that are creating helpful content. There's also obviously good from certain businesses who are trying to get certain information out or keep people in the loop, share certain stories. I mean, even down to like recipes and and even humor, you know, I find a lot of things funny. So I guess I don't know. I go to a lot of YouTube shorts, but oh my gosh, dude, my YouTube shorts feed is awful. I get like the same 3 trends over and over, and they're not even trends I like. And so I don't know why I keep getting fed them, but it's driving me nuts. But if I get on like Instagram or Facebook, usually I'm not ever posting. I'm just consuming. But my wife and I send funny stuff back and forth to each other that we find, or like we like going to Disney, so we'll send Disney stuff back and forth. And so I don't subscribe to the idea that all social media is bad, that all of it is flexing, but my goodness, there is so much of it out there. And I don't let my kids have social media. My oldest is 14, and I'm just like, nah, dude, you don't need it. When he's older, if he wants to make the decision to engage in social media, and I know he will to an extent because he does photography and things, but I'd rather like form their brains as much as possible, lock in this sense of self-identity, that they really know who they are as much as you can, up to 18 years old. And I don't know, feel this, have a greater grasp on who they are as a person, because I don't know, so much of social media is just absolutely mindless and stupid. And I don't want my kids to feel like they have to curate some brand of themselves. Bo Burnham, and if you don't know Bo Burnham, I am telling you, please go watch the Netflix special Inside. He may not be your taste, but I love Bo Burnham, and I don't fully agree with everything that he says. But he basically created this special during COVID, and he just made it all. He wrote it, he filmed it, he edited it, and it's all about basically in this one room in his apartment or wherever he lives. And one of the things that he says, not in that one, but in another interview, is if you can live life without an audience, do it. And as much as possible, I want my children to live a life without an audience. Because obviously being here on YouTube, like, I'm not living my life for an audience. There are some things I share, some things I don't share. I try to bring something of value, whether that's just you getting to experience somebody enjoying something that you enjoy, because I think that's the other side of it. When you find something you love, that's a joy. When you get to share that with somebody else, that's a second joy. And so I know that that's one of the values that I hope to bring, is just people. I love it when people find something I love and enjoy it for themselves. So I know that's one part. The other part is kind of like what we do in here. I've lived a decent amount of life. I'm not super old. I'm turned 37 this year. But, having been married nearly 17 years, having kids that are getting a bit older, having been through a lot of experiences for myself in life, I feel like there are some things that maybe I have to offer. And I love sharing those things. And I love talking about life and philosophical ideas and learning and all of those things. So anyways, sorry, long rant here, but I love that thought that if you can live your life without an audience, you should. Focus on buzz. Want more of a shock. Wow, man. Follow me now, right now. Give it a like. Hey, you're going to like me, right? Surrender love. Hunky-dory day. It's fine to be a false version of myself. No, man. Fight to be an authentic person. I love that one. That's filters godlike, or God tier. Oh, and I can't stand that, man. Like, look at this, dude. Look at that. It's not even, because I popped it. It's not even as big as it was. I get on here some days and I got like pimples and other stuff. I try to shower, but this is how I present myself to the world. But goodness, dude, I've known people in real life. I'm like, I know you. I see you quite a bit. And they're like catfishing the world. If you don't know what catfishing is, that's where like somebody's going on a date and their profile picture is wildly different than who they are in real life. It's like, this was my profile picture, 150 pounds lighter. Not to put any shame on anybody. I'm just saying, don't do that. Don't do that. But I've seen people, man, it's just the certain angles they use and the certain filters they use. And then I know them in real life. I'm like, you don't look like that. Why do you keep posting pictures that are clearly heavily doctored by filters? Who knew this song was going to get to me? All right, influencer as a game. The song repeatedly uses winning and losing language, strategy metaphors, resets, and endings. This frames attention as competition, not connection. Approval is currency. Approval, validation is treated like fuel, something you collect, something that runs out, something that never satisfies. The clapping isn't celebration. Oh gosh, it's sustenance? No. Oh. And that's what I mean. You rely upon the validation of others to validate you as a person. Like, I'd rather put stuff out. That's fine. Yeah, let's celebrate it. I want to put something out that's valuable, that people like, great. But if it becomes sustenance, like you feel bad about yourself, and so you put these things out to hopefully feel good about yourself, because that only lasts for a moment, man. It's empty carbs. Calling the system democratic is sarcastic. Everyone can participate, but visibility is still unequal and success still feels arbitrary. Hunky-dory, the cheerfulness is hollow. It's repeated until it loses meaning. A slogan used to cover anxiety, comparison, and exhaustion. And then this overall interpretation. Influencer isn't angry, it's exposed. It shows how identity becomes performance, how selfhood becomes content, and how validation becomes a loop with no exit. You're told, follow me, like me, watch me, but underneath every command is the same question. Is this enough yet? The answer never arrives, so the feed refreshes, the numbers climb, the day stays hunky-dory, and the cycle continues. Wow. That was deep. Okay. Well, you let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being with me for this one. Hope to see you in the next one. Have a hunky-dory day.